What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Ventures Tower, and oh man, we need to talk about The Mandalorian Season 3, some new information that's out there, trailers from Star Wars Celebration that have now made their way online, and this is all leading to a big conclusion about The Mandalorian Season 3 that I think might be very controversial among Star Wars fans, so spoiler warning for where we're going from here, but first, let's talk about the new images and the trailer that is out there. Now, I did a breakdown of this trailer from Star Wars Celebration way back when it first came out. I'm actually shocked that this trailer is not officially out there online. Maybe around D23 time it will be released to the public, or maybe they're holding it back until we get a little closer to the actual release of The Mandalorian, which isn't set to come out until February of next year. But I will just go through some of these images now and kind of explain to you what I think is going on. By the way, we already had some leaks as far as what is happening in The Mandalorian Season 3. We do see that Greef Karga is back looking very cool in some new garb there. We see a ton of new Mandalorians, and this season is going to be chock full of Mandalorians. There's said to be a big crazy thing that happens in the finale of Season 3, but a lot of this is going to lead to the Mandalorians, perhaps even a conflict between different tribes of Mandalorians in order to see who will be the rightful ruler. We also see the aliens that were holding Grogu all the way back in the first season of The Mandalorian, and it's possible that they are in this plot trying to find Grogu or find the people that took Grogu, and we might get an explanation of what they were doing, who they were working for, and maybe more of the backstory for Grogu himself. We see a lot of Dr. Pershing, and it is rumored that he will be trying to break Moff Gideon out. There might be something going on there where eventually Moff Gideon is going to be broken out of the prison for the New Republic. Some really cool shots of the different ships that are going to be fighting with the N1 that Mando has. These are either Mandalorian forces, perhaps some privatized army, maybe New Republic stuff, but I highly doubt it. And again, you see a lot of different helmet designs and armor designs with these other Mandalorians. But here's the deal, and here's the new information, and we're getting towards the controversy, right? Because it is said that Din is going to be going back to Mandalore, of course, to bathe in the mines, which were said to be collapsed after the Great Purge on Mandalore. We see a little bit of that in the book of Boba Fett with the Empire just bombing the crap out of Mandalore. And obviously the Mandalorians scattered to the wind. Many of them are living in different tribes and things like that. And we see that Bo Katan in Season 2 was trying to bring them all back together. Now, Din, after taking his helmet off, is tasked by the armorer to go, wash himself clean of his sins and go to Mandalore. And before, we had heard that this was going to culminate with a ton of different Mandalorians, including Bo Katan, having some kind of a ceremony and doing something at the end of this series. And we believe that this is going to be all of these people coming back together. But the big idea and push for the marketing of Season 3 of The Mandalorian was going to be putting Bo Katan up against Djin Darin, who's going to be the ruler of Mandalore. She would have to beat Din in combat to take the Darksaber back to lead the Mandalorians, and we're not exactly sure how that could all work, but we have new information from Making Star Wars that makes it seem like Bo Katan may well be crowned the ruler of Mandalore. Now, in the old leaks for The Mandalorian Season 3, we had people say that there was going to be a scene with a mythosaur that awakens in the mines, and all the different Mandalorians are going to be fighting against it, and maybe you would see Djin Darin actually ride the mythosaur, and that would then be how he solidifies his rule and brings all the Mandalorians together. But it says here in the new leak from Making Star Wars that will actually be Bo Katan that is given an armor that has the mythosaur on it. So he says here, I recently wrote that we will see a battle with the mythosaur in the third season of The Mandalorian. Well, I may have something that connects to that story beat you see in the third season. Katie Sackhoff, Bo Katan will wear new armor, mythosaurian armor. And he says here, I'm guessing after she defeats the mythosaur, the armor must forge new gear for her from it. Perhaps she gets that new armor at the very end. I can only guess what that means for Din. Now, that's absolutely crazy, right? Are they saying that Bo Katan will replace Djin Darin as the ruler of Mandalore and actually be the one that leads all of the Mandalorians into season 4 or whatever happens next? I mean, that is fascinating to me. I don't know if that would be super cool with the fans. I'm curious, like, would you be really upset if Bo Katan sort of outshines Din and becomes the ruler, taking back the Darksaber, perhaps? Or is this going to be a situation where Katie Sackhoff's Bo Katan is elevated to a very high status within Mandalore, but the Darksaber is still retained by Djin Darin and he is the ruler as well? Are we going to see them both share the throne or something like that? I'm not exactly sure, but I do know, of course, that, you know, there's issues with Pedro Pascal and this show, right? It is said that he didn't record anything for principal photography for The Mandalorian season 3. And if a lot of those old rumors were true about him, causing trouble on set and having a lot of drama between, the leadership and the producers and himself, maybe they literally just want to take the direction of the show into a place where Katie Sackhoff is now the lead and she is Bo Katan leading the Mandalorians. Maybe Din's going to go do his own thing, maybe with Baby Yoda, and they just kind of sideline that and instead have another show after this season of Mandalore, or have the final season of The Mandalorian be about Bo Katan. I don't really know, but that's really crazy. But check this out. This is another thing that's absolutely wild when it comes to The Mandalorian season 3. They are saying on Making Star Wars that Moff Gideon is going to get a new helmet, a black Mandalorian helmet. It has horns on the top like the armor, but it has the classic T-shaped visor. The helmet matches the outfit we have already seen him in. And so maybe he is also going to be galvanizing some of the Mandalorian tribes and having a big war to take over Mandalore. We're not really sure, but it sounds absolutely wild. Moff Gideon in a, almost Maul-like friggin' helmet for the Mandalorians, a Mythosaurian armor made for Bo Katan. What does it mean? Is it possible that she will rule and Djin Darin will not have the Darksaber anymore? What do you think of that? Let me know your thoughts about that and just how excited you are in general for The Mandalorian season 3 in the comments section below.